Hello, this is OC Skywatch. It is the 27th of April, 2015. It's around 4:30 in the morning. I decided that I'm going to make a little update right now because I haven't in a while, and I could see a good few things happening in our map. They're starting to build up the high pressure to the west of us, and there's this low pressure to the east of us. It's going to bring us wind again. And let me talk about something really quick before I continue with the update. Alright, first of all, I was at a local march against chemtrails and geoengineering the other day, and it started raining on us towards the end of the protest. Maybe they wanted us to get out of there. I don't know, but it rained around a good quarter of an inch. I think that's how much it was. It wasn't a whole lot. It was just enough to send us running. Okay, let's move along before I fall asleep. Okay, you can see that there's this weird thing happening up here, and the air's getting drier, and yet they spray over it. Now that's typical with HARP activity. You don't see a whole lot here in the water vapor, but in long wave you will. And you could also see the high pressure that's rotating clockwise. And yeah, it's just all dry air there. That's typical. And I know that this is what's left of the low pressure that was right in this area north of Hawaii. And it kind of looks like it dissipated or they killed it, or I don't know what happened, but it kind of looks like this little band is what's left of it, and they're spraying into the thing just so they can use the ionospheric heaters to build up this high pressure ridge even more, and they also want to get rid of this rain and prevent it from falling in the northwest just to maintain the drought. Because they're pinning this jet stream, there's a little notch here starting to form. You can see that in the storm surf map. Let me bring that up really quick. Okay, let's go back to 0 hours and just play this through. Nothing too exciting happening. See, there's just that notch there, and it just goes into the northwest. It's not going to bring a whole lot of rain, I could assure you, because they're probably just going to spray heavily in that flow. Also, notice that the jet stream is going almost straight south in the Arizona and New Mexico region. That's low pressure there that was formed, and that's bringing severe weather to the folks in Texas that are helping us with this geoengineering problem. I'm not going to get a whole lot into it because I'm just tired and my mind's all foggy right now. Anyways, moving along, I showed you the notch. I showed you this drying area. Now let's go into long wave mode, and there's quite a bit of gold in here. Well, one piece of gold. Okay, yeah, I know that they're spraying up there. I forgot to mention that. They're spraying up near the coast just to build up the high pressure ridge. That's very typical, and all that stuff's gonna come down on us. I think there's a little wind starting outside, but hey, you already saw the wind from around 2 weeks ago. But anyways, yeah, they spray usually up in the northwest to build up the high pressure, and that aids with ionospheric heaters. The sun isn't up now, so it has to probably be a mobile platform of some sort. I don't know how else. This thing right here can't reach it. But I can tell you that it's probably attacking another region. Probably down in this area. And one down here as well. Probably to aid with high pressure. I know it's just, this thing is very weird. There's like little lines coming out of it. It's very, very strange activity. And yeah, I just switched to long wave. Also, you notice near where they're spraying, there are two rings here. Kind of looks like they were going clockwise and they are expanding. just observing stuff, and yeah, I see the spray right over it. So they're definitely building up the high pressure ridge to create this wind and drought conditions because, as I say, drought is very profitable for corporations like Nestle that are stealing our water with a 27-year-old expired permit. I'm surprised that people aren't blocking the road that leads to it so they can't do their operation sell us water. Also, there's Monsanto that's planting aluminum resistant seeds. They grow without a problem. The organic stuff is having a hard time here. Oh, I can even see right at this moment they're spraying over the valley. I just want to bring that up. Probably for Monsanto stuff. There's multiple goals, Agenda 21, and we're not going to get into that a whole lot because I'm pretty short on time and I'm tired. I can go on for a while, but anyways, just look at these little downbursts here. That possibly can't be Gakona. I think that Gakona was shut down or whatever. They have some better stuff now. I know it's not active anymore and killing anything, but this transmitter most definitely is. I can also see little lines coming from these mountains. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's just elevation plus aerosols and convection prevention. I really don't know, but it's very possible. By the way, an update on my health. I'm pretty much over it because of the apple cider vinegar and raw honey routine. That stuff's very effective in getting rid of any sort of sore throat or respiratory and stuff. It helps, especially with all the spraying. Okay, enough rambling. I'll be making more videos in the future. I could assure you that. Maybe eventually I can show you dried up ponds, parched farms, and whatnot. I might be going up to Northern California in the coming months, so maybe. Okay, I think that's it. Alright, I decided to make a second segment. It's around 3:42 right now, and this image is around an hour old, but I fear that they might filter these things out, so I'm just going to use these images because they're quite remarkable. Right off the bat, they're starting to spray quite heavily over the northern sector of the state, and all along this plume, they just spray aerosols into it so it suppresses rain. This high pressure already brought us a good 50-mile-per-hour gusts. So at this point, it's just to suppress rain. You see all these streaks in here. And also notice that this notch is not looking so good. Well, actually, I take that back. It was never looking good because it's all man-made weather. It's not going to be bringing a whole lot of rain to Washington and Oregon and British Columbia. I personally don't see any rain occurring in Northern California. And you gotta consider that there's disaster capitalists that are taking advantage of this drought. There's Monsanto. What a surprise. There's Nestle stealing our water without a permit. And I cannot stress this enough that they're capitalizing over our hardships caused by these rogue geoengineers, geoterrorists, whatever you want to call it. You could see a huge north flow that's going down into us. The wind has stopped and the wind is turning from the west, but this is in the upper part of the troposphere. Nothing too special here. I want to bring into long wave mode. I want to show you something pretty remarkable. Okay, because there's this high pressure that was causing the easterly wind, there's now a huge wall of clouds that is drifting towards the west. Complete opposite of what the normal winds would be for that latitude. This is around 30 or so degrees north. Down here is 22. So maybe this right here would be okay with the normal wind patterns, but up here definitely not. They're supposed to be going from the west to the east. Usually it's a huge persistent wall right here. I know Harp Report actually showed a huge thing like this around this area. The people that are handling the satellites are usually told to filter out these huge walls or whatever, but they actually slipped and you get something like this. And this right here, like Harp Report showed. So that's just proof that our drought is indeed engineered. I also want to make a quick point about thunderstorms and whatnot. Okay, I know that there's this low pressure to the east of us that's bringing severe weather. Kind of looks like a lot of spraying going on, but yeah, they had tornadoes and stuff in this area. I kind of feel bad for Clutch Roy. He had his roof blown off just a few weeks ago because they targeted him and they tried to prevent him from putting out a video showing UFOs and whatnot next to chemtrails, chemtrail planes. God, I hate using the word chemtrails. It's a term that's being used to discredit us, marginalize the issue. When you Google chemtrails, I'm going to do that right now. Chemtrails conspiracy theory, right on Wikipedia. Yeah, chemtrails lead to a bunch of conspiracy website stuff and Metabunk. Metabunk's huge on that, run by Mick West. Not going to get into a whole lot, but when you Google geoengineering, you get more scientific stuff, not so conspiracy. Just want to point that out. Anyways, I was going to mention that thunderstorms are being destroyed because of these aerosols. You can kind of see them spraying a bit in here. You notice that there's something that bubbles up, but once it reaches around the 30,000 foot aerosol layer, the hot air layer, it just turns into a huge smudge. These are a combination of destroyed thunderstorm clouds and aerosol clouds. You just notice that. You can also notice that they're probably spraying in the Gulf of Mexico right now to prevent any hurricanes from occurring. Right now, the water where these things are developing is around 80 degrees, and then yet they have to spray over it to prevent it from probably curling up and creating a hurricane. I'm going to show you the map right now of the ocean temperatures. Okay, let's get a better view. Okay, that's good. Okay, 27.4 degrees, that's around 81.4. Above this, where the storms are occurring, that's 81.1. Yeah, they have to spray in this kind of area to prevent a hurricane. It probably has something to do with the extortion racket that Harp Report actually talked about. But you gotta realize that with these aerosols, all that stuff eventually has to come down, and when it comes down, it contaminates marine life, it contaminates life on land, contaminates the atmosphere, everything. Unbelievable. Yeah, there's so much warm water here. A hurricane could form in any region, likely around here. There's not a whole lot of jet stream there, so they probably spray a lot of aerosols just to prevent anything from occurring. See, right where you expect, a bunch of aerosols. It's not a whole lot of jet stream to speak of. So, without these aerosols, something could just spin up and cause a hurricane. Yeah, just there was aerosols that traveled right over the Yucatan Peninsula, I remember back in August, when I was there was still quite a bit of fish there, so many. I don't know how the fish population is doing now. It's probably on a decline because of all the contamination and hurricane suppression. This is very interesting right here. I don't know what to say of it. Just looks like a bunch of aerosol junk. Okay, I gotta close that map because it takes quite a bit of memory. Though I have 16 gigabytes, so that shouldn't be an issue. Still, Firefox likes to lag if there's a lot of intensive stuff going on. Okay, one last overview. Aerosol spraying prevent rain here in the northwest. Very typical. The high pressure already brought us some winds and whatnot. I can also see this thing going outward a bit, probably because of the wind that it created. And there's also a northerly flow. Did I already mention that? I don't know. Anyways, just a message to anyone who's involved with these programs. Please stop now before the biosphere implodes. It's already starting to. The forests in Northern California are declining rapidly. Dane Wigington shows video of that. And yeah, if you come clean right now, you won't have to face the accountability later on. So please just come forward and tell us the truth about these programs. I know you guys are probably being told that you're doing something for the greater good. That's a complete and utter lie. It's a lie because these aerosol nanoparticulates, it contaminates everything once the stuff heads down. And when HARP is used, it shoves the aerosols up into the stratosphere and destroys the ozone layer. I can keep going on with all the consequences of these programs, but I'm just telling you, please snap out of it, do the right thing, come forward, come clean, and join us to preserve life on this planet. And if that's not convincing enough, once your family members find out, they're probably going to disown you. Hate to go there, but I'm just telling the truth. Anyways, thank you for listening to my long rambling, and yeah, I encourage you guys to share, because we need to keep exposing the crimes against humanity. There are a lot of Facebook and YouTube trolls like Bob Solo and Chris Singleton. Bob Solo is actually a Facebook troll. Chris Singleton has Facebook on YouTube, Google Plus, whatever. Yeah, a lot of companies pay these guys to suppress the truth. It's kind of sad that people are selling themselves to cover up the crimes that are taking place against our population. Alright, I want to thank you again for watching. Please share.